be playing. Alright, so.
You're talking about some PS1.
Yes, and then I figured this would be the perfect game because we had our Super Nintendo video, like the stuff we would like to see in the game. So this is just more a discussion of our favorite PS1 games and nothing more perfect to play than
I think the best place to start with PS1 is their initial attempts to combat Sega's Virtua Fighter, which was huge in the arcade at the time, and it was actually huge on their Dreamcast, which was PlayStation's original competitor. I mean, they started out with Ballerina Toshin, which was one of their launch titles, and later on they developed Tekken, which eventually overcame Virtua Fighter, but...
Yeah, I remember Ballerina Toshin's big thing was that it had a roll button. So that, but like, the way the character rolled was super weird, so they would just like it was a tiny little ball and they roll up and it was weird, and then like I remember some chick that was like a scorpion kick overhead, and like, wow.
Yep. The other big thing with PlayStation is, I think they got Mortal Kombat 3 license over, I think even Nintendo. I don't think they had it on SNES.
Well, they probably made it based on that.
Yeah, it was very, much more graphic game, even today. But I mean, that's pretty much the story for Sony's fighting games. It's pretty much Tekken, Ballerina, Toshin, and Mortal Kombat. Can you think of any other games? I really didn't. Mortal Kombat 3 was pretty much my last fighting game.
Was Tekken 3, was that on PS1 or was it on PS2?
That may have been PS2.
Okay, so I was gonna say Tekken 3 was one of the most amazing games, like all the mini games that they put on it. I'm like, I don't know why I shouldn't have more of this.
Yeah. And then I think later they had Marvel vs. Capcom, or was that later?
Children of the Atom is on there.
Is that was on PS1?
Yes. I don't feel myself. FIFA doesn't have feel, you jerk.
Was there any other fighting games on PlayStation 1?
I think the only ones I had on my list was Soul Blade.
Oh, I never played Soul Blade.
Soul Blade was amazing, and it also had like so your guys could get different weapons that were more powerful. So it had different, like a game, like a story mode where you take a guy and then you would get more powerful weapons as you progress through the thing and with different attributes and stuff. And then, like I remember there were some stages where it had, like poison. Like your guy would be poisoned, and so it's like, well, you gotta beat the guy and power around before the poison sets in and stuff, so then your health is degenerating as you go. It's like, I guess I don't know why they don't do more stuff like that. But, so then there's, but then I just thought it was weird because I loved Soul Blade. Loved it. Loved that game. And then, like, but then, for some reason, then everyone's like, Soul Calibur, Soul Calibur, Soul Calibur. And I'm like, and it's like, well, so apparently no one had heard of Soul Blade, I guess. But it's just the first Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
And it was just as awesome.
So I think let's just roll from that and kind of tangent over into fighting game into racing sims. Ridge Racer was probably their, I think that was their first, that was their launch title game that they had. It was actually really sweet. I think it got completely overshadowed though by Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Twisted Metal was amazing first. I wasn't a huge fan of the second one.
No, I like the second. I think the second one might have been my favorite. Yes, Twisted Metal 2 was my favorite.
And I like it. Beyond that, they really didn't have too many other racing sims. The Need for Speed? Was that PlayStation 1 or PS2?
I'm not sure. Basically for racing games, I was all Gran Turismo.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Oh, damn. I forgot about it. So So this game on PS4 has a couple different things you can do. It's got a kind of a God mode thing, which I don't really am not interested in using. Because I actually want to just play the game over. But well, is there a way to get out of here? I don't even remember. I don't remember anything. So it's got this triple time. Speeds up. Yeah. So then, especially if you're just fucking grinding for shit, then you can do that. Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto or PS2?
Yes, because 3.
And I think racing games transition directly into their sports games, which is where I think they also made a lot of their money down the way on PS1. With Madden, with NCAA, with FIFA, with hockey, with NBA, basketball games, NBA Live. I mean, those were all amazing.
Okay, apparently I'm supposed to do something to get out of this. See, this is one of those things I don't remember. No, the
Blitz, that was the other big one.
No, there was a game called Open Ice, which was essentially like a Blitz or NBA Jam, but with it was a that made me sad inside that I just lost it. Yeah, so Open Ice was kind of like the NBA Jam with hockey, so this was awesome. Blitz was incredible, and yeah, when that first came out, so good. Remember, like 3 years later or something, when they came out with a Blitz game that was 11 on 11, and that was just like, you guys kind of lost exactly what you were supposed to be doing with it. Like, yeah, don't say last year. Let's see.
Really much else to say about sports.
Oh, I did have Need for Speed on there. Hot Shots Golf.
Yes, that would be.
Yeah, I love Hot Shots Golf. Like, we used to play the crap out of it, and that's when you still had a lot of, you know, you run the X button, you got a stamina bar, it goes like this, and then you gotta hit it at the X at the both times.
So then we can just take the sports.
Oh, hey, no, one more.
Got one more sports?
Yes. Or it might have gone under racing too. Destruction Derby.
I don't think I ever played that one.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. So Destruction Derby, it was, you know, just racing. Well, at least the second one. The first game was basically just straight up like you're in a big oval, or you're in a big bowl, and you're back into people until somebody stops. The second game actually had like an figure 8 track. And so, yeah, you do your little, like, figure 8 thing, and so then obviously you'd run into people as they were running across.
You can kind of take racing and sports games and kind of take it in the role-playing game level, but not quite there yet.
Oh,
so let's go into Resident Evil.
Yes, and Silent, and the first Silent Hill was on there.
Yep, Resident Evil is probably the strongest of those games from the PlayStation. Because I believe it was exclusive to PlayStation.
And I think Resident Evil.
And it went on to spawn probably, what, 20-some games probably? And 6 movies?
No, I guess there was one. I don't know if we want to make a whole video of my issues with the Resident Evil, but... Well...
They're fun popcorn movies, they're not good movies by any means.
I have an issue with, like, reasons for stuff. Like, you can't just be like, well, this company wants to kill everyone. I'm like, well, why? Like, if you kill you're a company, you're supposed to make money. If you kill everyone, then what are you doing?
Yeah, and in Resident Evil, wasn't they at bioweapons?
Yes.
Manufacturer?
Yeah. But in the end of the fourth movie, where they're all on the boat, and she gets all the people off the boat. Oh, so they're all standing on the boat. At the end of the movie, they're coming in on a plane, and they're like, we're gonna kill all the people down there. And I'm like, why? For what? What? What's the purpose? Like, why? Who cares? Like, so as And then the crap where, oh, she's got all these superpowers and there's crazy and now there's 1,000 clones of her. Oh, how? And then the next movie, they're like, oh, how are we gonna get rid of that? So let's have her get injected. Now she doesn't have any of those sweet powers because that would make it too easy.
So yeah, it was kind of a continuation off of like the OG Nintendo Shadow Gate and what was the PC S?
Yeah.
Kind of the survival horror games.
Yes. And then it led to Silent Hill 2, which also.
Yep.
And then basically it's a game series completely based around the pyramid. The pyramid head.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves pyramid.
Well, there's
I mean, I do that all the time.
So, I mean, there's really nothing else for the survival horror genre. At that point for PlayStation, all that came later, and on every system now. I mean, I'd have to imagine, when did Walking Dead...
See, that's all I needed to do was check.
When did they release Walking Dead comics? Was it the mid-90s? Because I'm almost thinking Kirkman drew a lot of his inspiration off of the first Resident Evil one.
Probably, yeah.
Or at least drew some of it. Because like there was really nothing for zombies in the 90s, even before the 90s. It was like Night of the Living Dead in the 80s and a few of the George Romero ones. But after that, it was really nothing until Resident Evil, and then all of a sudden you have all the Resident Evil movies, you have the games coming out, you have Walking Dead coming out, you have, what was one British movie?
28 Days Later.
28 Days Later. You have stuff like Wreck and Quarantine and all the zombie movies.
No, that wasn't zombie, they just had,
Rabies.
yeah, they just had rabies.
Let me can tangent survival horror into what it kind of was, which was a role-playing game. And probably PS1, and probably one of the best games ever.
No! Oh my god! I hit over to go there, and then it popped one more. And then she just punched Barrett in the face.
Probably the best role-playing game ever made. Final Fantasy VII. It's pretty close. My personal favorite was actually Dragon Warrior 4 for the regular Nintendo.
I'd have to say
just because the story was so amazing.
6.
Final Fantasy 6?
Yes, I think it was 6. Do I have the...
You're talking about Hear Everybody?
Yeah.
I think it's yeah, I'm just making a guess off previous experience. But I mean, you also have Final Fantasy VII, which then spawned a whole bunch of other Square Enix games. Like, what was it? Chrono Cross?
Well, that was also already off the Chrono Trigger. No, I still said the Final Fantasy VI, I think it's better. I think the fascination with this game was just like, it was the first time you actually had, like, the better graphics and stuff. Kind of like how whenever a new system comes out, like, and all the video game reviewers go crazy and they're just like, every game is a 5 out of 5, only because it's like, well, it's the best graphics of anything that they've seen in a while.
And it's a long game. It's, what, about 80 hours to complete? Probably well over 100 if you want to actually get the Emerald Weapon and Ruby Weapon too.
Yes.
And get Knights of the Round and all that crap.
Well, Knights of the Round takes 15 minutes every time you do it, so, you know, that's where that...
Except with the triple time.
Yeah, that's where this triple time is going to come in.
You get Breath of Fire also.
Yeah, so Breath of Fire 3 and 4. Oh, I was going to say, I was waiting for it to do something. Damn, it's a time bomb. I want, in the new game, I want Jonathan Maggio to do the voice of Barrett.
So the Breath of Fire games I've never played.
Oh, what? Are you high right now?
Yes, I am. No.
Oh my god.
My dad played all of them.
Breath of Fire 3 is so good, and that is, the Void, who is going to come on sometime and do our JRPG discussion, because now any RPG game is a JRPG, or any game where you level up is all of a sudden an RPG, and it's not. And then also any game that's where you level up that's made in Japan is now all suddenly a JRPG, and we're like, no, turn-based. Like, the turn-based thing is the
Yes,
stuff.
where you have an overworld and you move forward by squares. As a JPR.
So, Breath of Fire 3 is amazing, and honestly, it's one of those games where I literally was doing the boss fight, and I was down to my last hit on my last guy. Like, literally, the next time my last guy was dead, everything was used up. I had no, like, heals, nothing. Like, it was my last hit, and he fucking killed the boss, and I was like, so it was great. But Breath of Fire 4 was, some people don't like it as good. I liked it because it was the first game I remember where, like, you have 6 people in your party, but you know how there's only ever, like, 3 that you can use at a time. Well, it had a swap mode, so you could swap people in and out, like, real quick. So there wasn't any of this crap where, like, well, I'm only going to use these 3 guys, and then, like, this mimic guy's not going to ever get used kind of thing. So besides Final Fantasy VII, which everyone knows, Final Fantasy IX was a great game.
Yep.
A lot of people liked 8. My issue with 8...
Cards.
Well, the cards was garbage because you have this card system where if you lose, they take your best card. Well, so pretty early in the game, I'm pretty sure almost everybody lost their Ifrit card, and then you're screwed at that point. And then so it's like, well, my other big issue with Final Fantasy VIII, which is not even necessarily the story, was the, I think it was, there was, to level up your weapons, you need to add a mantine or something like that. Adamantium. And, it did not have it. Like, you're supposed to be able to get them from these tortoises on this one beach. I spent like 6 hours farming these tortoises, did not get one, and then after that I quit. Then, way later, I looked at the book, and I was literally at the end stage. Like, all I needed to do was go into the end stage and go through and beat it. And I would have been done, and I was like, but I was out of it at that point. I was like, no, I'm good.
There's another one. Another role-playing game I can think of that I really enjoyed, but I don't know if you did, Legends of Dragoon.
Yes, Legends of Dragoon was amazing, so that was the first game where... Well, I guess it wasn't the first game. Technically, Super Mario RPG was the first game where it had the extra attack, but this game took it to a whole nother level.
It took, like, Sabine's attack in Final Fantasy VI to the next level, where you would have to do, like, certain combos in order to do, like, ultimate attacks.
No, what it was that there was so there's a square in the middle of the screen.
It would pop different buttons.
Yeah, and then no. What it would do, it wasn't different buttons. It was always the same button, but there was a square. So you had to do timing, and it was a timing thing. And so it would start here and go, and you would do combos based on like the timing of it. And I got it all of them up to. So I was just leveling up all the different combos, and then so by the time I fought the boss, I was so like overpowered. It was sick. But that game is incredible, and I'm surprised they don't, I don't know, they just kind of disappeared.
I think it's on the PS4 store, though.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is it really? Because that's going to be getting played.
I'm pretty sure it was. At least it was on the PS3 store, so I'm not too sure if it's going to be on the PS4.
Probably not, because they're jerks and they don't want to do that. Final Fantasy Tactics?
Never played Tactics.
So, Final Fantasy Tactics, great story. A great story. Great story. And then I mean, it's just a Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Except for now you have tiles that you're moving on besides just doing your attack thing.
More of a strategy game.
Yes. Do we want to count Castlevania Symphony of Night as a?
No, but we can actually transition that into the next.
Wait, hold on. I got more. All
right, let's do finish up role playing.
Legend of Legaia.
I never played that, but my father did.
Okay,
all the
that was one where your guys didn't have weapons. They had basically like you did your combos as like left kick, right kick.
Okay.
So you had like, and then you would do different combos based on what you pick. So you'd pick like right punch, left punch, kick, and then you would do some kind of weird combo. Pretty good game. Oh, you know what we didn't do in the sports that we needed to do?
Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Which was huge for a few years.
It was amazing. And then they got weird where they made manuals, and then people quit actually doing anything. They would just say it and then there was something else I just saw. Yeah, Xenogears. Xenogears. It got kind of weird with the PS2 one, but a lot of people love Xenogears. Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. I would say that was an RPG. It was like a top-down. The first one was weird too because it spawned a few different games. It spawned Soul Reaver and a Legacy of Kain 2. So then, no, it's Materia.
Oh, sorry. That was Final Fantasy 6. There we go.
So then,
Playground.
So yeah, it was like you were a vampire and you were just roaming around killing people, drinking blood. You know, good times.
So let's go into probably the next one, which should be platformers.
Platformers.
Now, the big platformer with release of PlayStation 1, I believe, was Rayman.
Rayman.
Which was, I think it was a Terry Gilliam thing.
Yeah.
Which is a British comedy.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm thinking of Discworld.
Maybe.
Which was kind of a platformer. Rayman was something else. But Rayman was a pretty decent platformer for them to get started off on. And Rayman exists till today. So, I mean, it's lasted through the time.
Yeah.
But I think this is where we probably get into your Castlevania.
Castlevania Symphony of Night.
Again, another one I never played.
It's one of those games where, like, I think they did the thing where, like, they start you out in the first stage and you get all of your powers. And you, like, get to run through and fucking do all the shit. And then, like, haha, stole all your powers. You gotta go through and collect them all again.
Yep.
So that
for
was...
the old Metroid.
Yeah.
Super SNES Metroid. Where you got everything at the beginning and then they take everything away.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of... would that count Mega Man Legends?
Yes, that would count Mega Man Legends. Would also count Mega Man X.
And Metal Gear...
Oh no, Mega Man X was... that was SNES.
Metal Gear Solid.
Yep, okay, Metal Gear Solid too.
Yeah, I know. See, I people always think I'm crazy for this. I did not ever get into the Metal Gear games.
I didn't either.
Based entirely off of the first game on NES.
Which was weird.
Well, no one, you know, I've been playing Double Dragon and shit like that on the NES.
Yep.
Where you just run up to people and fucking punch them in the face and throw them. So then all of a sudden they're like, like nowhere does it say, hey, be stealthy, sneak through here. So I'm just running up to the dogs and be like, dying. And then so I'm like, well, okay, well, this is garbage. So I got to the third screen and I'm like, alright, I'm done.
And Assassin's Creed took Metal Gear to the next level.
Well, it does show how many Bay Hales there were in the past just hanging out underneath towers for you to jump in.
So we got for platforming. Platforming kind of went away with PlayStation.
Spider-Man, the Neversoft Spider-Man game.
I never played that one.
Oh my god, it was so good.
At least if I did, I don't remember.
It was the first one where, like, because previous to that, all the Spider-Man games were pretty much just beat-em-ups, where you just side-scrolling beat-em-ups, which was fine. I don't know if you like that kind of stuff, yeah. But this was the first one where it was more kind of the newer style now, where you're walking around a room and there's a bunch of guys and you gotta, you know, put on your fucking web gloves and punch them in the face or do whatever. Let's see. Okay, are we ready to go to randoms?
Yes, the rest of these are just going to be kind of stuff that doesn't really fit into any categories, kind of like a rock band would just kind of be in its own little category.
Rock band. I have, let's see, Bust a Groove. So Bust a Groove was basically DDR before DDR, but it didn't have like a pad. You actually had to just do the buttons. But it was like a dancing game, and you would get the music stuck in your head for days and days, and it was crazy. And I should probably figure out a way to play it now and broadcast it, because you would get the song stuck in your head. I can still hear the songs in my head if I think of them now. Like, it's just madness. Do you have any other randoms?
I honestly don't. We did a lot of PlayStation, but we also had N64 and...
See, I didn't buy an N64 till way later, so... Alright, I guess I just had two more games then. Monster Rancher. So, Monster Rancher was that game where you would take your CDs, your, like, music CDs, and put them in the thing, and it would read it, and based on whatever the music CD was, it would give you a different monster.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, like, You could, and they had like whole lists of like what it was. So like Nirvana Nevermind was like this monster or whatever, and like yeah. So yeah, you would take CDs and do that. So that was an interesting game.
Compact discs.
Let's see. And then, well, yeah, we went over Children of the Atom. Time Crisis. So yeah, I still love when I go to the movie theater, and I still fart around in the Time Crisis just because I love.
It's the old Deer Hunter Duck Hunt game.
Yeah, where you're getting your gun and you're
Yep.
The problem is that my uncle actually had the PS1 version of it, where he had the gun and everything, and it's not quite, you know, for some reason those games never transfer from the arcade as well.
No, and the detection on them is horrible. Just like play Duck Hunt, you're just like, I shot that stupid goose.
No, but the detection on that I don't remember being bad. It just wasn't as good as the arcade one, whereas the arcade ones are usually pretty awesome. Yeah. It didn't let me go in there and get that materia. Hashtag jerks. Yeah, it is. Oh no, it won't let me go in there. You
That's pretty much it.
Wait, what happened to my people? I don't want to die by this house. I haven't been leveling up at all, only because, or I haven't been grinding to level up on here yet, just because I'm waiting until after someone dies. Alright, we'll be back with stuff.
See you guys.
Alright, I'll miss you.